Hey there, I'm Louie, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to crochet little shields for your Amigurumi. So this pattern is relatively simple. The main thing I want to show you is how to make it so you can take it on and off of your character really easy. I use this for my little orcs here. This guy's name is Titan, and he's got a big shield, but I'm going to be showing you how to make it a little bit smaller. I'll explain how to make it larger like that. There's also a tutorial I have for making like a classic shield like this shape, specifically for this Hyrule shield from Link's Legend of Zelda. And you can find the tutorial for that shield right here. And in this video I'll show you how to make this little additional part so that you can take it on and off of your character. So this could help even if you've already watched that video. Alright, well, to get started, I'm using all worsted weight yarn, and I'm going to be making my shield in gray this time. And I'm using a size G 4mm crochet hook because I'm using worsted weight yarn. So let's move these guys out of the way and get started. Alright, so we're going to start with a magic loop method with our gray yarn here. And you want this tail end to be somewhat long. That's probably good. You want it a little bit longer than normal, because it's going to be one of the things that you'll need for adding it to the arm. And so we're making the magic loop. You can also use the chain 2 method if you want. I find the magic loop a little bit easier, but you know, teach their own. And we're going to start by doing 6 single crochets into the center of the magic loop or into the second chain from the hook if you're doing the chain 2 method. 3, 4, 5, and here's number 6. Okay, now we're going to tighten this guy up. That'll be the end of round 1 for the main part of our shield. Okay. So now for round 2, we're going to be putting an increase into each stitch around. We're working in the round for these shields. So we're going to start by getting into that first stitch right here. And we're going to put an increase into each stitch around. So it's going to bring us up from 6 stitches to 12 stitches. But for this first one, this first increase, we want to work around this tail. So just 2, 1, and 2 around that tail. Now for the rest of these, we don't want to work around that tail, so we'll pull that tail away. Not for the rest, but for a few more stitches. And we're going to continue our increases. Let's do another increase right here. 3 and 4, 5, and 6. And now for this next increase, so we have 2 increases apart from the first one where we worked around this end. We want to start working around the end again after 2 increases. So right here is pretty good. And you want to leave a pretty open loop there because that's what we're going to put around the arm. So you want to kind of use your finger to make sure there's a loop there. And work around it for the next increase and the increase after. It's kind of like locking it into place, but still able to like pull it tighter or looser. Okay, and then we got one more increase right here. All right, so you could just stop here. You can make your shield pretty small if you wanted. This would be pretty tiny. Let's grab an orc real quick. That's gonna not protect him for much, so let's make it a little bit larger. This bigger shield I made 4 rounds, so we're going to continue increasing up as we go. This one is up to, let's see, this one is up to 24 stitches around, but the one we're going to be making right now, we want to do it 18 stitches around. So this is going to be our last round, and I'll explain after this round how to make it even bigger. But if you want to make it this size, just do this round without the points. So in this round, we're going to be doing, not only are we going to make it bigger, but we're also going to be adding points to each edge. So first, the main pattern here is we're going to do a single crochet into the first stitch and then an increase into the next stitch. That's the majority of the pattern. So we'll start by just doing a single crochet here. Now we're going to do an increase into the next stitch, but in between the increase, we want to do a mini picot. So an increase is normally 2 single crochets into that stitch. So let's do our first one. And now let's do our mini picot. For a mini picot, we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and then into that second chain from the hook, see into the back loop right there. Let me get closer. See that back loop? You want to get your crochet hook under that back loop from the second chain from the hook right there, and we're going to make a slip stitch. There we go. That's going to make a nice little point. And now we're going to finish our increase by doing another single crochet into that stitch. Okay, and you can see how it kind of gives a point there. And you want to do that for every increase as we go around. There's going to be 6 spikes total. So let's do another one right here. Do a single crochet and then an increase, but put a spike in between those increases. So now is our mini peacock. 1, 2. Get that crochet hook into that second chain from the hook, the back loop, and do a slip stitch. And now we can finish up that increase. So you want to do 6 repeats of that. There's our second repeat. Get our a little bit more yarn here. And be careful not to work around any of these ends. These are important for our piece. If you wanted to make this a little bit bigger, you would not be doing the mini peacocks here. And instead, in the next round, you'd be adding the mini peacocks in the increases. And for the next round, if you wanted to make it larger, the end of this round is going to have 18 stitches around, because we're only putting 1 single crochet between increases. But if you wanted to make it bigger in the next round, you would do 2 single crochets and then an increase. I hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comments if that doesn't make any sense, and I can help explain it a little bit further. Okay, so we're coming upon the end here, and you'll know that you're coming upon the end because there'll be 6 spikes at the end. Okay, so this is going to be our last spike here, and I'll show you how to finish this guy up. Okay, 1 more single crochet into that last one for that increase. Okay, now to finish this up, we have actually a few different ways we can do it. We're just going to slip stitch into the next stitch right here. Okay, we're going to cut the yarn and just pull it all the way through. Now we're going to thread this end here on our needle. We're going to do a hidden end here. So we're going to go into the back of the next stitch, which is right here. We're going to go into the back like that. And then we're going to go back down straight through where it's coming out right there. Go down a few stitches like that. Okay, and see how that makes like a little bit of a hidden end there? You can hide it a little bit more into a few more stitches if you'd like, just to be safe. Okay, looks pretty good. And now we can cut that little end there. And now let's add it to an orc with no shield. So let's grab our orc. And we can put it around the arm. See how we got this like pretty big loop here? Let's put it around the arm. And now we can use this extra end here to pull it tight. Okay? And that should hold it onto the arm like that. Now what we want to do is we want to cut this because this is like far too long. But you don't want to cut it too short. You don't want to cut it all the way there because then when you want to take it off the arm, it's going to come all undone. So you want to leave kind of a decent amount of end, like that much for taking it off and on. And this we can just kind of like tuck it under that maybe to hide it in a little bit. And there we go. We have a spiked shield for our orc. Thanks so much for watching. Again, if you want to make it, if you want to do the same technique for a Hyrule shield like this, you can check out my video right here. And if you want to learn how to make swords for your guy, you can find the tutorial for that at clubcrochet.com/swords. Yeah, I think right now it's for members only, but eventually it won't be. It just takes a while for it to come out of the exclusive library and into the public library. I release one every, I think I'm going to release one every month. Anyhow, thanks again for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe down below. Pasta la pizza, and happy hooking.